This is the AI Executive Brief for Monday, March 2nd, 2026. I'm Stephen Forte. Today, we're talking about the moment AI stopped being a conversation topic and started being an operating decision. 3 stories this week made that shift impossible to ignore. Let me set it up. Jack Dorsey just cut 40% of Block's workforce and said the quiet part out loud. It's because of AI. Meanwhile, almost half your employees are already using AI tools you didn't approve and don't control. And Ramp just shipped an accounting agent that codes your transactions and posts your accruals in real time. These aren't future state promises. This is happening right now in companies that look a lot like yours. So let's get into it. Okay, so Block, parent company of Square and Cash App, on February 26th, they announced roughly 4,000 job cuts. That's a big number. But here's what makes this different from every other layoff headline you've scrolled past. This was not a cost-cutting move driven by bad results. Block just reported strong quarterly earnings. Dorsey framed this as a structural change in how companies should be built. His exact words, and I want to be precise here, something has changed. The intelligence tools we're developing and using, along with smaller and more streamlined teams, are fostering a new operational model that fundamentally alters the nature of building and managing a company. That's not spin. That's a CEO telling Wall Street his company needs fewer humans per dollar of output. Permanently, Block is now targeting $2 million or more in gross profit per employee. That's roughly 4 times their pre-pandemic levels. Think about what that means for headcount planning. Not trimming around the edges, rethinking from the ground up how many people it takes to run a business unit. And Dorsey isn't alone. In 2025, companies attributed 55,000 job cuts to AI. That's 12 times the number from 2023. Gartner projects 40% of enterprise applications will embed AI agents by end of 2026, up from just 5% in 2025. I've been sitting with this one because I think a lot of leaders are quietly running this same math, not whether AI will change their org chart, but when. And what Dorsey just did is give everyone permission to say it out loud. Here's what it looks like in practice. Say you run a mid-market services company, 250 employees, you've probably got a finance team of 12, an ops team of 15, maybe 20 people in client support. Dorsey's model says, what if those teams were half the size, but each person had AI tooling that tripled their throughput? You don't get there by sending a Slack message asking your team to explore AI. You get there by redesigning the work itself, rewriting job descriptions, rethinking what a team even is. That's the shift. And if you're P-backed with a hold period ticking, that gross profit per employee number is going to show up in your next board deck, whether you put it there or not. All right, now here's the uncomfortable flip side. While CEOs are starting to think about AI strategically, their employees already made the decision for them. A Netscope report found that 47% of employees using AI at work are doing it through personal accounts. No company oversight, no data governance, no audit trail. The average company is now experiencing 223 sensitive data incidents per month from uncontrolled AI use. That number doubled year over year. A separate survey from Recon Analytics, this one covered over 193,000 workers, found that a third of employed Americans now use AI regularly for work, but only half of them use company-authorized tools. And here's the kicker. Half of all paid AI subscriptions are coming out of employees' own pockets. Your people are so convinced this makes them better at their jobs that they're paying for it themselves. That should tell you something. I've talked to dozens of CEOs and operators about this. Someone on the finance team is pasting vendor contracts into ChatGPT. A marketing manager is running customer data through a personal AI account. Nobody told them to, nobody told them not to, and nobody knows what's leaving the building. A Dataiku and Harris poll survey of CIOs landed even harder. 54% have already discovered unauthorized shadow AI in their organizations. 81% are concerned about data exposure, and only 25% have real-time visibility over the AI agents running inside their company. That's a quarter. 3 out of 4 CIOs are flying blind. Now zoom out. The SEC's 2026 examination priorities now list cybersecurity and AI as a top risk, displacing crypto. Undisclosed AI use is being treated as a disclosure risk, so it's not just an IT problem, it's a board-level governance issue. And look, this isn't all downside. The same research shows AI users save an average of 6.3 hours per week. That's a 16% productivity boost. The tool works. The question isn't whether your people should use AI, it's whether they're doing it in a way that protects the company. For any company at scale, that gap between using AI and governing AI is where the real risk lives. A quick win here: get a policy in place this month. Approve 2 or 3 tools. Give people a sanctioned path that's easier than the workaround. Most of the shadow usage isn't malicious, it's just impatient. Your best people found a way to get more done, and they didn't wait for a committee to greenlight it. Channel that energy, don't punish it now. Third story, and this one is the most concrete. Ramp just launched what they're calling an accounting agent. If you're not familiar, Ramp is a corporate card and spend management platform used by over 50,000 companies. On February 12th, they released an AI agent that auto-codes every transaction in real time. As it happens, not at month end, not during the close, as the spend occurs, the system is trained on millions of transactions and learns each company's specific coding patterns. It creates and posts accruals automatically, and it delivers 3.5 times more auto-coding than legacy rule-based systems at over 90% accuracy. Here's why I think a lot of people are going to underestimate this. Today, only 2% of finance teams use AI as their primary coding method. 2%, that means 98% are still doing it the old way. Manually categorizing transactions, scrambling at month end, playing catch up. Ramp says their agent saves over 40 hours a month for finance teams. That's a full person's work week. Every month, gone. Perplexity's controller put it well. AI handles routine coding in real time and keeps our books audit ready, so we close faster every month without the scramble. If you've ever watched your finance team lose a week to close, you know exactly what that scramble looks like. If you're running a company doing 50 to 200 million in revenue, you probably have a finance team of 8 to 15 people. A meaningful chunk of their month goes to transaction coding, reconciliation, and accrual posting. Your controller probably loses a solid week every close cycle just chasing down miscoded expenses and building accrual schedules. Ramp's pitch is that an AI agent handles that entire repetitive layer, so your team focuses on analysis, forecasting, and planning. The part that actually moves your business forward. It's available now for Ramp Plus customers, and I'd expect every major spend platform to follow within the year. If your CFO hasn't looked at this category recently, now would be the time. So here's the thread that ties all 3 of these together. Each story answers the same question: how far along is AI in actually replacing work, not just promising to? Block says, far enough to cut 40% of our workforce. Your employees say, far enough that half of us are using it without telling you. Ramp says, far enough to close your books. The gap between AI is interesting and AI is running parts of your company closed this week. And the only question is whether you're managing that transition or it's managing you. That's worth bringing to your next leadership meeting, not as a technology discussion, as an operating model discussion. That's the AI Executive Brief for Monday, March 2nd. I'm Stephen Forte. If this was useful, share it with someone who needs to hear it. I'll be back tomorrow with more. Until then, stay sharp.